Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Catfish Weekly, presented by Whiskerware Apparel. Along with Chuck Davison, I'm Lyle Stokes. Welcome to the show. Tonight we got a couple of segments. We're going to have Zed and Josh Moore on first, and then we'll be getting Jim and Sheila Sparks from Bass and Moore in Owensboro on here, and we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. Chuck, how's it going, buddy?
Great. I was kind of glad to see Monday this week after the way my weekend went, but it was all in fun.
Did you have a good time?
Oh yeah, I had a great time. Just trying to tackle a lake like that, and the little dinker boat I got, it's always a challenge, but it was still a really good time.
Well, it looks like a pretty good fish you guys caught, so that's in itself is worth the trip, and having a good time, being out there with somebody you enjoy being with, and that's really great.
Yeah, but when you go to a place like Guntersville or Wheeler, it's really heartbreaking being in a tournament or not. Looking forward to being able to catch what these lakes have to offer, and then coming home, either shut out or just with a couple of little dinks. But when you really hook up, it really makes it all worth it.
Well, and that's how I feel like every time I go to St. Louis. And tonight, our guests that are with us drove up from southern Illinois and northern western Indiana. Is that right, boys?
Yeah, that's right.
They come all the way up to St. Louis and Grafton, Illinois, and fished the Twisted Cat Outdoor Classic with a bunch of us. And we really had a good time till the end when they took all of our money and went back home with it. So, welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, thanks, Lyle. Thanks for having us on.
Hey, man, we're so proud of you guys. Am I correct that you're really very new at fishing these tournaments?
We started really last year and this year, 2 years pretty much. We fished the last Metropolis tournament in 2013. And then we fished last year and this year, pretty much.
Well, that's pretty new coming to the sport, and you come all the way up to Grafton, which for the people that don't know, Grafton, Illinois is about, 35 miles above the Alton Dam at St. Louis, and it's kind of tough fishing up there, but sometimes it's really good too. But to come up there and get there on a Saturday morning, jump in a tournament, and kick ass and take names is just pretty cool. I was just so happy for you guys.
Well, we fished all summer planning to go to Metropolis and Paducah because Bass Pro tournament's going to be there in Paducah. We fished down in there, and so that tournament didn't get canceled. So we saw it on Facebook, and we were signed up for the Mississippi Masters, and so we figured we'd better get some experience on the Mississippi. So when we got a hold of you, I told Josh, I said, let's go. So we showed up and had no idea what to do. We were hoping somebody would give us a hint. So,
Usually,
if you've ever looked on avionics, that little section of the river actually has a little bit of data on it. It's actually got the contours, and it was close. Wasn't dead on accurate, but it was enough to give us some idea.
Right. Yeah, I like fishing down there, but St. Louis is one of the toughest places for me. And when you go down there, you're usually either really on them or you're really off of them, one or the other. And it makes it kind of difficult if you've not been there. But it didn't seem to bother you boys. Like I say, I don't think there was a soul down there that wasn't just happy for you. And I was extremely proud of you and the way you handled that. I mean, you just come up there and took our money and left. That's all there is to it.
Thanks, Paul. We appreciate it. We're glad you're happy about it.
Oh, I am. I hope I can do that down there next month with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck, what do you got for these guys?
Yeah, we were, the whole time we're planning to go below Alton, and we kind of talked ourselves out of that. The Walsh boys, I sent them a message on the way the night before, and they said that lock was going to be slow and they would walk through. So we started thinking, well, we may have to stay right there in front because it looked like it's pretty deep there with from the Illinois on out into Mississippi. So that was kind of our right there. We were trying to back bounce. We said, heck, we'll
we'll back bounce all the way to Alton. That's what we got to do.
That was our plan. We were gonna launch, cut bait, and bounce to Alton.
We have, I had plans of going all the way through the Alton Dam because we'd been down there looking for bait the day before, and I'd found some fish below there. But as far as it was, at the last minute, I made a decision not to go, and I knew where you guys was at, and I'm pretty sure you knew where I was at, and it wasn't that we didn't catch fish, we just didn't catch the right fish, and that's okay because we had Chris Cordy in the boat with us, and we had such a good time. We hadn't fished with Chris in a long time. So.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Okay, Chuck, what do you got for these guys?
So y'all started. How many tournaments did y'all fish last year?
We fished. Well, we got lucky because there was 3 in Owensboro, there was 1 out of Henderson, and then Metropolis and Monster. So there was quite a few on the Ohio. We really just started out watching Steve Douglas, of course, like everyone else, and taking off, doing the drifting and trying to figure all this out. Well, we figured out pretty quick that if you don't get in these tournaments, you're not going to learn as fast as these other guys. So we just went and did our first tournament, and didn't catch a fish, and came in thinking that the fish weren't biting that day. And I think 237 pounds won the first tournament we were in. We just stood there with our jaws open, down there at Metropolis.
Yeah, this is my second year of tournaments also. The only big one I fished last year was Monsters of the Ohio. This year I fished one bass tournament and two Cabela's. I fished the Winter Blues back at the beginning of the year, and I'll be fishing Winter Blues this year. And we have a small trail here in Alabama Catfish Trail, and I've only missed a couple of those both years. So I'm trying to get in the fast lane just like y'all are. How do y'all handle the what I want to call the psychological warfare, where the guys try to get into your head before the tournament? They're just kidding around, but they just try to play with your head to to try to get your mind off of everything. Do y'all run into that any?
For us, when we started this thing, we thought we were going to go catch about 4 or 5 monster catfish and get our pictures taken with them that first summer. And after probably 9 days on the water without a fish, we started realizing we had a lot to learn. And so for us, we've always just been about trying to catch a big fish. And we try to keep that mindset, like, let's try to catch the biggest fish we can.
Yeah, more so the process is what we strategize the most on. Come up with the game plan, and we're trying to catch the fish that we can catch that are biting for us that day, and we're happy with that game plan. And we're always striving to catch a monster fish, whatever we can do. We're struggling with that a little bit, but the smaller fish fared well in this tournament. So.
The guy really as a whole, that everybody's pretty good, pretty easy to get along with. We got a lot of guys around here like the Kings and Gable and Aaron. Those guys have all helped us out and tried to keep us from putting in the ditch too many times. So they've been pretty good to us. But we show up, we try to have plan A and plan B, and try to make sure that we're not all stuck in one type of water. We like to have at least one part of the plan that's different than the other, so you at least try a few different things in a tournament. Plus, the guys probably aren't worried about us too much, so they're not messing with us that much.
Yeah, I mean they won't start messing with you until you start knowing them a whole lot better. The more you get to know them, the more they're going to mess with you. And, it gets real fun, and pretty much, going to tournaments these days is, especially the bigger ones like the Monsters of the Ohio. That's when I take my vacation every year, and it's more of a social gathering to me. I get to be around Lyle, all my other friends for a few days, and I get to go fish a tournament also. So it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I agree.
Most of
the monsters.
Yes, most of the guys.
And not very often you get Steve Douglas and Morris and Massengills and all those guys. So you always feel lucky to get a chance to bounce a question off of them. And, we're crazy enough, like we'll record their acceptance speeches, watch them back later. We know what they say, and if we get the chance, we'll ask them, what do you mean by that? Why'd you choose that versus some other spot?
You're exactly right, man. And you got these guys that come out, and they've been fishing for 10, 15 years. Big mentors in the sport, and you get out there and you start competing against them. Just being able to compete against them is a big deal to me.
Yep.
And being able to hang in there pretty good. If they only come in with 3 fish and 40 pounds, and I come in with 1 15-pounder, I think I averaged out pretty good to these guys,
Right.
and that's what makes you a lot better fisher.
Our growth curve has skyrocketed since we started in tournaments. It's amazing how much we've learned from tournaments.
Well, it's so hard to get feedback. If we go out and fish a spot on the river and don't see anybody that day, you drive home, you don't know if they just weren't biting or what. And in the tournament, you find out real quick what went on. So, well, it's really like Saturday. We fished just a little bit Saturday. We couldn't fish that Bruce Mickett tournament. So we fished a little bit of Saturday, and later on that evening the weights started coming in. We were talking about, well, it obviously wasn't that the fish weren't biting; we weren't in the right spot. So.
Hey, Chuck, do you still have chat?
Do what?
Do you still have chat?
Yes.
My chat's missing. I don't know what I've done, but somehow it come up missing, so you'll have to watch that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those tournaments are super important. I'd encourage everybody to try it. To me, it's it's a little bit humbling because you're gonna pull out with maybe nothing or maybe 1 fish, and you got to go up there and take your lumps. But they seems like all the guys appreciate that. They want you out there trying. And, the Walshes were really good to us the first tournament we ever fished. And I remember telling them we fished deep. It was in the summer. We fished 60 foot deep the whole time, and we just grinded it out 8 hours. And we got back. We told them, man, we fished deep, just like you said. They said, well, did you get any bites? And we're like, oh no. And they said, well, you might want to try a little bit shallower water. We caught them all at 25 foot. And so, just for us, that was how we started to learn right there.
Oh yeah, talking to these guys that weigh in, and just picking their brains a little at a time. That's where you really get a lot of your, tips and stuff that you can put to use the very next tournament. These guys, they don't hold nothing back. They're not going to tell you the exact rig that's where they caught the fish at. But, most everybody I run into, they help me a lot. And they tell me exactly what they were doing. A lot of them will tell you, the strategy they started with, what changes they made through the day. Some of these guys, they catch fish until noon, and then between 12 and 2, pick up 60 pounds real quick, come in second place. So that's, Jason Bridges was beating this one channel edge to death, and he usually gets a lot of fish in that area. And he just took off all the way to the other end of the lake, picked up 60 pounds, and ended up culling some. But they'll sit there and tell you why they did it, what their thought process was behind it. The next time I go, I'll be a lot more comfortable by
for a guy starting out, getting in his first tournament. If you do get skunked and don't have luck, don't head home. Make sure you go to the weigh-in and talk to them and see what they did, because they'll all share with you. They're proud to have you have another boat in the tournament and growing the sport of catfishing. It's a welcome.
That's right. They want you to be out there and add to that pot.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And the more that you can go out and catch fish is the more you're going to be able to come back, and the more the sport's going to grow, and the more people that you can get into it. Some of your friends, you'll take them out, and then a few months later they're going to buy them a boat,
Yeah.
um, and they're going to be following y'all around, and then y'all have a little clique that's running around to all these tournaments together, and then everything starts growing from there. And
Yeah.
but you still, even though no matter how close friends you are, you're still going to keep those deep secrets you got, or the things that you think is going to give you the edge over anybody else. As long as you share the base that everybody knows, you don't have to give out something that you may think gives you that one little edge that's going to, give you that favor when you lose it. So yeah, y'all look like y'all did pretty good. That's the first thing Lyle talked about Monday after the tournament, about y'all two came down, and he was really impressed with y'all. And
Yeah, we appreciate it. I'll tell you, we saw this one little scour hole on Navionics, and the only thing we had to do, we wanted to just go look at that, and we went over the top of it, and there was a bunch of fish, like in between where the Mississippi and the Illinois meet, and then we marked Loch Ness Monster off just a little bit, and so I told Josh, let's turn around and bounce the Alton, and that's what we did. And Josh had a bite probably within 100 yards, and then we caught our first fish pretty quick, and it was on from there. We pretty much were into them all day. We caught quite a few fish.
Yeah, pretty much bit all day.
They were mean, Lyle. Those fish were mean. That first fish I caught swam all the way to the boat up that current, and all I was doing just slide reeling to keep up with him, and he swam all the way to the boat. I told Josh, you might as well just get the net, because this thing just swam all the way up here. So that was pretty good.
How'd you like that current down there?
Hey, we actually learned a little bit about current this year, because the Ohio was raging at about 3 feet all summer long, so we had to fish current. In fact, the wind was blowing downstream quite a bit, and so we had a little trouble slowing the boat down too, so it really went back. We started out trying to bounce the 4. It was a little bit light for that. So
that's a lot of fun down there.
Yeah.
Besides watching Steve Douglas videos, did y'all buy any other videos that y'all researched? Like
everything that's on, right? Everything that we can get our hands on. Steve was first. That first video, I think it's hog hunting for hogs or something. That's my favorite Steve Douglas video. That's the one I remember 5 years ago when we really started to go, 4 or 5 weekends and try to drift.
And Brad Stout's video, the guy from last
Dream, Dream Team, Catfish Dream Team. That's the first time we saw bouncing. And then was the big cat that had those cannonball sinkers. So we went out and bought a slew of them because we thought maybe that was the secret. But anyway, we started bouncing. After that next spring, we bounced in the seam, that first time, and I bet we caught 15 fish that day. We thought we had found the answer. We thought it was over and we'd got it figured out, Of course, you know how that changes with the wind, but we had a good first bouncing, and we've enjoyed that ever since.
Yeah, that's great. Learning from these guys that veterans in the sport, and have been out for 5-10 years, and they're on the top of the leaderboard week in and week out, and they come out and make these videos and star on these fishing shows on World Fishing Network. I really enjoy. I try to absorb everything I watch.
Yep. And Connor, you talk about these old guys. That Connor King last year, if you guys are friends with him on Facebook, one day he took his grandpa out, and his grandpa's dope, and they catch a 40 while Dad and Mom are at work, and posted this thing on Facebook. And I sent Josh's picture. I was like, really? I mean, we are horrible. We can't even, here's this kid take his grandpa out in a duck boat and catching this monster, you know. But that you can look from Connor too. He's just 12.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Probably Wayne wouldn't want us to have Connor alone. We might ask him any questions.
Yeah, this I really hope it gets started in the colleges and everything. So you know these Connors and you know Jackson Mitchell and all these guys that are 12 and 13 right now that's fishing the Cabelases and the Bass Pro and all these big tournaments have a chance. You know, really shine in upcoming trails, you know, for the younger guys. If they could get the college thing going like they got the college back, I think it'd be really exciting for these guys that are coming up right now.
Yeah, I mean these monster catfish are just. We took a buddy of ours about 3 weeks ago, and we had him, and he hooks a 20-pounder, and I mean we got it on video. It's the funniest thing you ever seen. I mean he's so excited and you know fought him so hard there in the beginning. Yeah, I mean I think I've heard him say that I think a lot of people would tune in to watch people catch 50, 60-pound catfish. You know, I think they would. I don't see how you couldn't. You know, we watch it all the time, so you know, on YouTube. But,
yeah, the you know, with the young guys, they'll go out with their dads, and you'll see them at weigh-in, and when they're talking to the other anglers around, they're so impressed. You know, they'll say, "Was you bouncing or drifting?" And I mean, they've got the whole chronology down. They know. I mean, it's just mind blowing. And it's just like you're sitting there talking to another adult.
Yep.
I mean, they've got it together. You know, I really like being around these young guys at the tournaments. They're really.
Yeah, for sure. So important. And you know, for us, we're brothers. We hunt together. We duck hunt together. And, you know, we keep a good attitude. We're pretty. You know, we're spread far enough in age. We don't fight, so we keep good attitude. So it's all fun for us, and we love seeing everybody out there. So.
Well, when y'all first started getting into catfish, I'm just trying to understand here because we don't have pay lakes in this part of the country. If we do, they're the small eaters or whatever. What made y'all decide to go river fishing instead of going to pay lake and catching large catfish that's already been caught?
We live on the river, so we live on the Wabash. So we've seen big catfish. My dad and his buddy Lynn, they took us catfishing when I was a kid for sure. When we used to scull and drift across the front of Kentucky Dam down on the riverside and just drift across the bottom, and we used them real little stub poles. And that was back when I was young. So we did a little catfishing there, but what happened was we really started to realize that people come to the Ohio River and catch these monster fish, and that's when it all started. Josh went with Paul, Captain Paul there out of Evansville just one day, and caught a bunch of fish, and we've been trying it ever since. Learned a trick or two, and just started building on it.
Do you have friends that fish pay lakes and stuff that y'all try to convert over the river?
I don't know pay laker. Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all don't know any?
No. My boys they're all bass fishing. They're fishing bass tournaments. So.
Oh, that's how there's bass tournaments everywhere down here. You can't if you can get 20 boats to a tournament, you've done great down here.
Well, I tell you what, there's some trails. You know, like Indiana River Cats, they fish the Wabash and the White River. We fished a couple of those with those guys. But there's some trails, you know, that fish that section of the river. Catfish is really growing in our area, and I think some of them are a couple of them fish the Bruce, Midkiff, and I think a couple of them will be at the Monsters too. So let's start to branch out. A guy that I've talked to there at work, he's talking about buying a boat. He's looking at Sea Arcs, and he's wanting to learn how to fish the Ohio too. So I think people, for us on Facebook, we always post our pictures, and people get to see them, and they realize we're out catching fish and asking all kinds of questions. So, we encourage as many people as we can to come out and try it.
Do you have any friends that are bass fishing that are converting over to catfishing?
We take them every once in a while.
We're trying.
Yeah.
And they're loving the catfishing now?
They enjoy it, yeah. Well, where else? I mean, you know, catfish will eat their bag. We tease them.
Yeah, if you take them on a good day when there's a good bite, you know, and that one good day, it's a game changer.
Yeah. Well, that bouncing too is an active form of fishing, and I think they would enjoy that the most. That's why our next project, we got to figure out how to bounce in 5-mile-an-hour current in Memphis, because we're going.
All right, I'm gonna pass you off to Lyle. Yeah, that is turn.
Boys, we just we're so glad to have you on the show, and it's so refreshing to see you young guys get interested in the sport, because most of the guys are older, and we need to keep the younger kids interested in the sport. And we got guys like Hunter and I can't think of his name, coming on our show. You know, these guys are what we need to keep the sport fresh, because if we don't keep people interested in it, it'll surely fail.
Yep, absolutely. We're bringing our niece with us to Monster. She fished with us last year. She's going to come again. She's all excited, Maddie. So,
and this is who?
Maddie Merritt. She's going to be on in our boat, Monsters.
Cool. Good deal. That's awesome. We're running on about our 30-minute time limit. You boys got anybody you thank or mention for your show?
I'll tell you, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Steve Douglas and just putting the catfishing out there with enough information that you can go out and have something to try the next weekend. And we appreciate Steve, and we're always commenting back and forth. He comments on our pictures, and we appreciate it, because we're just so thankful that he's going to put out all that effort in, because that's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort to go catfishing, catch bait, and fish. But to film it, put it on YouTube just because you love the sport and want guys like us to have enough information, man, we appreciate that. We appreciate all the local boys that look out for us, like Kings and Wayne and Jennifer and Ben Gable, who's starting a guide service in Evansville, and Aaron Wheatley always looks out for us, so we appreciate all them guys.
Did you know that Aaron Wheatley has said on chat and told us he loves you boys?
He said what?
He said he loves you boys.
We love him.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see him, Monsters.
Aaron's quite a special guy.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the first time we went and got skipjack to actually prepare for the year, I went turkey hunting down in Kentucky. Josh went to the dam and caught skipjack next to Aaron. And so when we went fishing that spring, Josh was telling me, that's the guy I met down there, skipjacking, and that's how we connected.
He's the first guy I ever ran into on catfishing. Good guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a really good guy. He's good for the sport, and as you guys are. And I can't thank you enough for spending your evening with us on Catfish Weekly.
You got it. And we're going to come fish another Twisted Cat tournament.
You come on up here. Alex will love to see you, and I promise you there will be nobody any happier to see you than me, even if you do take my money.
All right, you got it.
Appreciate it, Lyle. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, you, Chuck.
See you guys.
Later.
So, pretty good guys right there, Chuck.
Oh yeah, their laptop started getting echoey at the end, just like the last time. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is about laptops, but laptops do that. Some of them do, and some of them don't. And as soon as they're gone, it's gone. And I really believe that it's the fact that in laptops the speakers and the mics are so close together, and the longer you're on, of course, they warm up, and the next thing you know, you start having the feedback issues, because we don't have feedback issues with the people that's on regular computers and if they got an external webcam and microphone or headphones, it makes it even better. But, you know, everybody doesn't have that. And we've talked about this before, but some of the reasons why we don't have some of the other people that we'd like to have on as guests is everybody wants to see them on the show. So the phone thing is a last resort, but it's really, really hard. Everybody don't have internet connections that'll support that, and they don't have computers that'll support that. So, but it's getting better all the time, and it's just really cool. And looks like we got Sheila and Jim coming on. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Lyle, how's it going?
It is wonderful. How are you doing at Bass and Moore in Owensboro, Kentucky?
Well, we're doing fairly decent. Gearing up for the big tourney here in the next week coming up. Kind of excited. Got a lot of good things going on right now.
Well, that's awesome. You know, you and I and Sheila visited a little bit last night, making sure everything was set up on the show. And I don't know of anybody that goes to that tournament that's just not wound up tighter than a drum to get to Owensboro and see everybody. And you know, I think we're going to have a big crowd at your store on Thursday afternoon before that tournament.
Yes, I think we will too. We've had a lot of people asking about it. I think we'll have a real good crowd. We're really excited about it.
Well, you know, like I told you before, we'll try to get in there sometime around noonish to 1 o'clock and get everything set up, and it'll take us a little bit of time to get everything set up because we want to. You have a strong internet connection there, and we want to try to make this live event, and we'll do it in 30-minute or hour segments, and then take a break, and then by then YouTube will have posted it so the people that don't get to see it live can watch them later that night. But that way, and like I told you, if we got to stay late to make sure that everybody that wants to be on the show gets a chance to be on the show, then that's what we're going to do. And until you kick us out or tell us we can't use your internet no more.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. You know, that's one good thing that I have to say about, and you know, this is kind of something we made up on our own here, but you know, next week we're looking forward to what we call the Monster Week in Owensboro, okay? And you know, I want everybody that's coming in from out of town, which there's already a slew of them, you know, that visited us last year. I know there's going to be some more that I've made contact with already this year, and we want them to know that, believe it or not, we're a 24-hour shop all week next week while they're in town. Anything they need, regardless if they just need a good place to eat, they call us. We'll tell them where to go to eat. I mean, that's what we're going to do. And if they need bait, tackle, anything except where to go to catch catfish, I'll help them.
Well, I've got a couple of people that have sent some messages in on our chat, Jim, and Chad Wall wants to know if you're taking orders for bait.
I am. We've already probably got about maybe 500 or so set back that's been ordered. Now we've got those in. We've got those in right now, and we're holding them. But our plans are that we will even be having some more fresh ones come in the week of the tournament. So we're going to try to get as many fresh ones in as what we can. What we have right now was caught this past Sunday, and hopefully that we're going to get another big load in the Sunday before the tournament. So we're looking at bait not being more than 3 to 4 days old when these guys start their fishing. So that's what we did last year, and we're going to try to do that again this year. It's really been a struggle around here this year for bait. It's really expensive trying to come up with it this year. I don't know what's going on other than, you know, I'm not one of the experts on the river systems and stuff, but everybody's telling me the current has hurt the bait fish and stuff, and you know, I really don't know. You guys probably know more about that than I do about that, but the bait has really been hard to get a hold of this year.
Well, that's good, and you've answered 2 or 3 of the other questions by letting them know that you're going to have that, and I understand that Joe Gordon is coming down from Pennsylvania, and he says that he'll have to stop into the shop when he gets there. Joe, I just want to let you know that this is the place that you get your out-of-state fishing license, and anything that you forgot when you left the house, Jim and Sheila will have it there for you, so they'll make sure that you're well taken care of. And last year, and I'm assuming it'll be the same this year, they had live bait. They had all kinds of the biggest damn goldfish you ever laid your eyes on. My wife bought some. We ended up taking them home for a grandson to play with. He played with them in the live well for 2 months after we got back. And, you know, if they've got everything. You know, if you want it, they'll have it. And Jim and Sheila will take care of you as good as anybody you've ever dealt with in your entire life at a reasonable price. And they're there. They're friendly. They're nice. They're courteous. Place that you could possibly get bait in Owensboro, Kentucky, I promise. Claude wants to know what the cost is going to be on those skipjack.
Well, right now, our cost is $7.49 for a bag of 3 large. Okay, now, and that, you know, that's about a fair price of what we can win, because we just want to make sure we got the bait for everyone. So right now, our prices are running $7.49 for a bag of 3 large skipjack.
That's very reasonable, very reasonable. And you don't have to, if they're fresh like you're talking about, you don't have to worry about going out and get them. You know you're going to have bait there. Now, if you happen to stumble onto some that's swimming down the river and you throw a net or a hook out and you get you a couple of them that's brand new out of the water, and ain't nobody going to say anything about that. But in case bait is extremely hard to get, and it's like that sometimes, Jim and Sheila's got you covered.
It's almost impossible right now to get bait in this area. We've got, you know, the kind of caliber of catfishermen we have in this area, and they're all struggling to catch bait right now. So, it's tough. So, you know, I urge everyone to try to get their bait, but to let me know, you know, as soon as possible if they are going to need bait from me, so I can, you know, try to make sure I've got enough for everyone.
Right. Okay, folks, there you go. If you think that you're going to want bait from Jim, make sure to send him a message on Facebook or call the store and let them know how many you think you're going to need, and be honest with him. If you want them, tell him that you want them, and make sure to get your name in the hat in case something comes up. I know I talked to you, what, a month ago or so about that? It's been quite a while, because, you know, the last thing I want to do is travel all the way down there and not be able to find any bait and then not have any. So, you know, I wanted to make sure that I got my name in the hat early in case you run out. Aaron Wheatley was on the show here a week or two ago, and we talked about the fact that you didn't have to buy out-of-state Kentucky license if you had an Illinois license. Is that?
That is true. I believe, and actually Aaron and I was talking about this today, and of course, you know, and most of these guys are coming know Aaron, and I would suggest, I'm going to tell you what little bit I know about it, but if they really want an expert opinion of it, to send him a message or something so he can set these guys clear on it. But from my knowledge, if you have an Illinois, Indiana, or an Ohio license, you can fish this pool in Owensboro, the Ohio River. Now,
and Aaron sent us a message in chat that says that applies on the main stream, and I'm of the Ohio River only.
Right.
Okay. I've had several people send me messages about that saying it didn't sound right. I said, you know, hey, Aaron said it was right. I know that he would not have said that if it wasn't, but I thought a second opinion would clear it up, and I'm clear with it. I'm going to go down there and use my Illinois fishing license.
Yeah. If Aaron says it, I would say it is 99.99% sure. He stays on top of that kind of stuff quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, you know, I will give what knowledge I know of what's going on, but if I'm not 100% sure of something, I'm going to set you on people who know it. So if there's any questions about licensing and permits and things like that, I'm sure, you know, Aaron's the man you need to talk to about that.
Well, he's in contact with all the right people all the time. Chuck, have you got some questions you'd like to visit with Jim about?
Yeah, I was going to mention, you know, like, you know, if you're wanting to go down the Green River, you know, you got to have a Kentucky license to go down the Green River. I done checked on that. So,
Yes.
yeah, so That's not going to be my strategy, y'all. But
Right.
no, I'd like to go down there and check it out, though. That's about. Um, so last year you really had some nice live baits, and I think I about bought you out a couple of times. So you think you're going to be able to get those nice, gills and all that good stuff that you was making available last year for us? You got your bait man on top of it?
Yes, sir, Chuck. We have the minnow system, the tank system we have right now. I have one of them full right now of large creek chubs, and I believe that those right there is probably what you're talking about last year. They were a big seller.
Yes.
I'm not going to give out any names, but I do know there was a couple fish last year over 30, 40 pounds that was caught on those creek chubs. So we will have plenty of those. We do have, as Lyle mentioned, we do have large goldfish. We'll have those. We've of course the skipjack, which we were just now talking about. We're also going to have a lot of large shad sides, fillets. Some people call them sides, some people call them fillets. They are frozen, but they're fresh. If anybody wants shad, so we're trying to gather up everything that what we can for people. We will have the live creek chubs, large live goldfish, the skipjack, shad sides, and some whole shad, but they're pretty small. We don't have any real large shad, but so it's just going to kind of be basically what we had last year, and we're just going to try to have a little bit more of it this year.
Okay, can you go over some of the brands of catfishing gear that you have over on the catfishing side in case these guys are looking for some of this stuff? They can just wait till they get down there to get it.
Well, right, I can go over some of the stuff. We're right now we have got some real good selection of rods. We've actually got some TWC rods in stock. We're going to have some rip and lip rods. We've got some B&M rods, some Chad Ferguson signature rods. We've got a real good selection of top quality rods. As far as the tackle wise go, we've got 3 or 4 different brands of really good hooks. We've got the Mustads, we've got the Gamakatsus, we've got the Bass Pro Shop, Cat Maxes. A big seller in this area. Those are really selling good in this area. A lot of catfishermen are using them. So we do have a lot of those in stock. We've ordered a lot. We have a lot of terminal tackle in our catfish bunker. I really couldn't go over all of it, but I think if anybody leaves home and forgets some swivels or some hooks or some line or something like that, we'll be able to take care of them on it.
Awesome. How much are your sinkers per, what do you go by the ounce or something like that?
On the sinkers? On the sinkers? I buy my sinkers from a gentleman right now, and what we're paying, we've got anything over the 6 ounce and 8 ounce selling for about $1.75, and anything below that are selling about $1.50 to $1. So, and we actually do have some around the 3 or 4 ounce that I think are 75 cents. So, we're pretty reasonable on our sinker prices and stuff too. We're not overly high. I've checked some of the competitors and stuff, and we're under most of them.
Great. So you're gonna have all kind of like if the guys forget their rain gear, you got some nice rain gear that's going to be nice and dry for them, that's going to breathe and not burn them up. You got good stuff like that available also?
Yes, sir. We do carry what I consider one of the top brands in rain gear. We carry the Frog Togs. I use them myself. And that's one good thing, or one thing I'd like to mention in my store. We put stuff in the store. We test it, we use it, and I'm telling you right now, the Frog Togs are about as good of a rain gear for the price of any that I've ever worn. So yes, we will have a supply of those. We do have them. If God forbid you're going to need them, I hope the weather's good for you guys this year, but we will have them. Another thing I'd like to mention, Rob for Whiskerware Apparel. He and I have gotten together, and I really appreciate it. But he's actually going to be putting some of his apparel and stuff in the store, so we're really, really excited about that. He's got a really good, clothing line, and I really appreciate him reaching out to us. And he was in the store last week, and actually I talked to him today, and it's going to be here before the Monster, so we will have some Whiskerware apparel stocked in the store. So that's good news for a lot of people. I've already had a lot of people asking about it. So that's what I say. We're entering our third year. This coming spring will be our third year of business, and we're really excited about how things are going. We're just a family operated business. There's nobody but my son, my wife, and myself, that runs it. It's more than a job for us. It's a passion, it's a way of life for us, and we just want, we want to be part of it. We want, we're really excited just to be a part of the industry. Like I said, you guys know, and you're gonna make fun of me, I'm a big bass fisherman. You already know that. I know you guys think bass are for bait, but my son is getting into catfishing now, and he's actually caught some pretty good catfish down there on the river. So
yes, he has.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a passion for us, and we really love it. It's just, it's a dream job for us because we love going to work. I mean, we love this type of stuff, and it's meeting the people, and I'm just overly happy about it. It's just, we want to do everything we can to help Owensboro have a top-notch bait and tackle shop.
Awesome. So what other types of stuff? Do you carry anything for boats, like bilge pumps or drain plugs, life vests?
Right, Chuck. I want to tell you, we do have a few boating supplies. I don't put a lot of money into the boating stuff supplies. I'm going to give Jim a nod. Jim Tyler across the bridge. He's another one of Aaron's sponsors for the Monsters Ohio. Great guy. He's really got a nice setup over there. If anybody, God forbid, does need boat parts and stuff while they're in town, they can come by the store, and I'll make sure they find Jim Tyler's shop over across the bridge, because he will have what you need to get your boat back up and going. But like I say, Chuck, we do have some bilge pumps, some aerator pumps, plugs and screws and clamps and things like that. But overall, if someone comes into the store and I can't take care of what they need, we will send them over to Jim.
Yeah, if it's going to go out, it's going to go out the day or two before the tournament. If not the morning of it, yes.
Yeah.
It's always a bilge pump, and I don't know how.
Key.
Yeah, a drain plug can just disappear out of your bilge somehow. I know it don't fit back through that hole and fall out on the road. That's
true. That's true.
Yeah.
We do have though. We've got 4 or 5 different sizes of drain plugs, so we'd be able to help him out on that. And like I say, we do have bilge pumps and aerator pumps and some pump outs and things, So we do have a few things like that. But like I said, we'll make sure that they're gonna make the tournament. I've got connections. I know where we can go get parts. Jim Tyler over there, I have just about anything you need.
Do you got landing nets and things like that also for big catfish?
I do have a couple large landing nets left. I'm hoping, I've got an order in for some. I'm hoping that they will be in before the tournament. That's one thing we're working pretty hard on to try to get them in here. Hopefully, the guy told me that they may be in by next Wednesday. So if they are, we're going to be in pretty good shape there. But I do still have a couple of large ones on hand if anybody's going to need any.
Okay, and you're gonna have throw nets also for bait. You carry the throw nets.
I do have a good selection of casting nets, everything from 3.5 foot size to about 8 foot size.
Awesome. You sound like you got it all covered to me.
Well, we hope so. We hope so. That's our goal, you know, to have what people need.
All right, Lyle. That's about it for me. You got anything else for him?
Well, I probably come up with something. I've been so excited to get you and Aaron and the Moore boys on here. I should have wrote down some more stuff, and I really didn't. But we are going to be on our way down there probably on Wednesday, and like we was talking a little bit ago, we probably have I'm going to guess 25 or 30 teams of people that we're going to try to squeeze in the show on Thursday afternoon, and we'll set everything up and come in and get everything done up, and then when people start coming through, when you guys are needing your supplies, your out-of-state license or in-state license, if you haven't bought license, if you need bait, if you need hooks, or if you forgot a rod, or whatever it is that you're going to need something. So run down there and see Jim and Sheila. Come in there, and we'll get you on the show, and we'll talk about Monsters of Ohio, and some of you guys are going to want to get on Aaron Wheatley, and he'll be there. So you'll have your opportunity, you know, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Last year, Chris and Chuck and I had such a great time down there, and there was everybody in the world from Joe Lucky and Jerry Klein was in there, and Steve Douglas was in there, and we had Jim and Sheila on, and my gosh, I can't name all of the ones. And it was so busy that we set up and done another show that evening at the Ramada Inn Motel. And I think if we try to do it all there at your store, I think it'll work out better for us and you, and I don't care who you are. I don't ever go to a tournament or anywhere else for that matter that I don't forget something. Usually several somethings. But if you forget it, you're gonna be there at Bass and Moore anyhow. Just tell Jim what you're looking for, and they'll point you in the right direction. Right?
Yeah, and I always just like going to one place and trying to get everything at one time instead of running all over town trying to find something.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't know where you're at.
Well, and it's something else. You get that personal service. You're going to get people that know what they got. You tell them what you're looking for. They'll take you to it, and you don't have to deal with some little 10-year-old kid that don't care if you're catching fish or not. You know, they're going to fix you up. Scott Woody wants to know what kind of braid and what size braid do you carry, Jim?
Right now, I do have some Power Pro braid in there, all the way up to 80 pound. I'm not 100% sure if I've got 100 pound or not, but I do know I have some 80, 65 and 80. I do have some Spider Line Stealth. That's a real good braid. The P-line braid, I also carry that all the way up to 80 pound. We have some monofilament line, heavy monofilament line, the offshore angler. That's had some real good feedback on that monofilament line. So we are carrying that now. So you know we've got a pretty good supply of line and the monofilament and also of the braid. You know, so if anybody like Lyle says, gets hung up a lot down there pre-fishing, they need some more line to come by, we'll have it for them. One way or another, we'll take care of them, so we'll have it for them.
There's no doubt about it. Casey Joe has a question for you here, and don't know if you'll know the answer to that, but he wants to know, is there a cast limit size in Kentucky on the Ohio River? Is there a diameter shutdown where you can only use one so big or that you're aware of?
I don't, here again, like I said a while ago, I will try to answer every question I can truthfully, and I'm going to be honest with you here. I cannot honestly answer that, but I can honestly say that I'm selling 8-foot nets, and of course that's the biggest that I have sold, and I've got people, buying them, so whether there is a law or something against that, I'm going to have to direct you to the expert again, get a hold of it.
Yeah, maybe he'll jump on here and give us the answer to that. Aaron probably knows it right offhand,
Yeah.
And I know Illinois has changed that.
Right. I do have nets anywhere from 3.5 foot to I think 7 foot right now. So, and I have sold some 8 foots, and no one's ever said anything to me about you can't use an 8-foot net. So, I think we're good on that. But like I said again, get a hold of Aaron and find out. We were talking about knowledge and stuff a while ago in the store and stuff like that, and instead of going somewhere else. And there was a good example of that today in my store. There was a gentleman that came in, and he wanted to do some catfishing. Okay, he's not a catfisherman. And lo and behold, guess who was there? Mr. Wiggins was there. Okay? And so as soon as that guy started asking me questions, I just moved back out of the way, and Aaron took over. And that is excellent. And we get that kind of stuff in my store all the time. I mean, we've got people like Aaron, Jody, Adam, tons of people that come in our store, and they're all very, very eager to help the sport grow. And I just sit back and I admire listening to some of those guys. Those guys are really, really good fishermen on the river system, and I was really impressed several times, but Aaron really got that guy today. I mean, he was telling this guy things about catfishing that he didn't even know. So that's what you get when you come to a mom and pop bait and tackle shop in Owensboro, Kentucky. We take care of each other, and we've got a lot of knowledge in and out of that store. I have to agree. So,
well, I can't think of anybody that's any more helpful to people than Aaron Wheatley. I really can't. Aaron absolutely is the most helpful person in Owensboro as far as knowledge of rules and regulations, and if he don't know the answer, he will get you an answer. He don't just make something up. He gets you the correct information, and he really works hard to make sure it's done that way.
He does. He absolutely does, and he does that quite a bit. When he's down at the store, he helps. He helps these people out. He's really done a lot for the area in catfishing. He really done a lot.
Does he ever stop by with his boat?
Yes, he does.
The next time he does,
he won't let me on it.
Well, that's too bad. I was hoping maybe you could get on there and get them coordinates off of that GPS and tell me where he's catching all the fish.
Now, what his problem is, Lyle, is he knows how good of a bass fisherman I am. Okay, so he knows if he gets all this knowledge and all this experience on that catfish boat, it's all over. There's no anymore for Aaron Wheatley. So he won't be on the boat.
Oh man, he'd be a hoot to be in a boat with. I don't know if you've ever fished with him or not, but I just think it'd be so much fun. And I know that he fishes with a lot of them guys down there that I know, and they just think the world of him. So, I can't imagine being in a boat with him. I just think it'd be a riot.
I'm gonna back up a step. He has actually invited me to go fishing with him. We just never have hooked up yet. So it's going to happen pretty soon. I don't know where he'll take me. He might blindfold me. And, I don't know. So, but it's going to happen sooner or later. I'm going to step up and I'm going to go. It's coming. We just haven't hooked up on it yet.
Well, I'm sure he'll put you on some good fish, and you all have a good time regardless of whether you catch any fish or not. I can't imagine being around Aaron for that amount of time and not having a lot of fun. He's just an outstanding guy. He does a great job with that tournament, and I know that Chuck and I and our families, or Cindy and all of us, we're all just can't wait to get down to Owensboro and see everybody and get out on the water and try to catch some fish. And if we catch some fish, that's a bonus, because being there is what it's all about anyhow. And I think we'll have a great show at your store, and I know people are looking forward to come down and seeing you guys. They'll remember you from last year, and you'll remember them, and it'll just be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. We're like I said, it's self-proclaimed, but we are really gearing up for what we call Monster Week. It's just it's a big deal for us and for the community. It's a big deal.
That's great.
A lot of people, a lot of interest in it.
Is your son, is he still trying to get over to the catfishing venue, or is he following you into bass fishing? Which way is he going to go? Can you tell yet?
My son,
Yes.
is he really enjoys. He has a passion for them both. I mean, you would like sometimes you'd like to see him. He just gets so frustrated because he don't know which one he wants to do on a certain day. But yes, he does do them both. He has done ventured out where he's actually going out on the river by himself now and doing some catfishing. So I got a feeling he's going to get into it pretty big before this is all said and done. And I'm proud of him. I'm glad he is. But he's going to have to learn all that on his own. I can't teach him anything about that. But he does a real good job.
It looks like y'all lost some really good help this year. I believe you and Aaron both really got a lot out of Terrence's head. He wore a lot of different hats last year, and I don't know about the years previous, but he's going to be fishing it this year. Is he going to be missed around helping out?
Terrence is fishing actually this year in the tournament. I'm proud of him for doing that, and yeah, he has been a big. Terrence is a big help for us down at the store, and him and Aaron are good friends too, and it's a good tight friendship. So yeah, he's gonna be missed. He helped out Aaron a lot last year on the weigh-ins and stuff. So, but I'm glad to see him fishing. I'm glad to see him fishing this year.
I am too. He worked so hard. He was everywhere. He was doing everything, and he was really big in helping that tournament go strong. And I just hope Aaron's got some good help to replace him. It's probably going to take 4 or 5 people to replace him, but I'm really looking forward to fishing against him. He's a really good guy, and I'm glad to see him out there fishing it this year.
Well, we'll have a booth set up there during the weigh-in and stuff. My son will be helping Aaron again this year, so that's going to help out a little bit. But Aaron's usually got a good crew helping him, so I'm sure he's got that all hands covered,
Oh yeah, he's got it covered.
Well, that's a big undertaking that he does there. I mean, he has a lot of people involved with that, and he's got some of the very best help that you could possibly get doing that. I mean, he just does. Those guys work hard and I don't remember, I should know this, and I feel bad that I don't know who was taking pictures for him as we went through the launch line to get to the boat ramp last year, but from that lady that was taking those pictures as we was going through the line to launch, to the last person I seen at weigh-in, there was never one crossword. There was never anybody said anything out of line. If they was funning with somebody or joking or carrying on. I've been everywhere, and I'm looking forward to some of the other tournaments that come up. But I just, I'm so impressed with the way that whole community surrounds around what he tries to do and gets it done. And it's like you guys. I mean, you already told us that you bass fish yourself, but when it comes to getting stuff ready for this Monster of the Ohio, you got to step up and make sure you got everything it takes to make this go off as smooth as it can. And the whole city down there is like that. It's one of the most impressive things that I've seen in our sport in a long, long time.
Yes, I agree. I agree 100%. It really is exciting.
Well, I know that we've got some big stuff coming up for 2016, and there's a lot of tournament series that are coming up, and some of them are going by the wayside. And I've said this many, many times, but there's a lot of the large tournament organizations that put on tournaments all over the place that should go to some of these places like Aaron's and see how the correct way to do this is and make adjustments on their stuff, and it would be better for everybody. And I just think it's outstanding how it's done. And like I say, we can't wait to get there. It's going to be a blast. It always is. And no bets for me and Janet this year. That's too bad. I mean, I had to wear that damn Reds hat off for a week last year, but I mean, Janet Fox and Bink, there's some great people, and Claude. You know, I got kind of a surprise the other day, Jim. I want to tell you a story that really doesn't have anything to do with your store or your tournament, but Claude Reynolds and us has become pretty good friends, other than the fact that he does some advertising for me and he pushes my rods a little bit. But, you know, he put a post up on Facebook the other day, and I met Claude at Alabama last year for the first time when we fished that tournament down there. And he's going to take time out from his trip to go on a deer hunt in Nebraska to swing by and spend the day with Cindy and I. And this is the kind of things that catfishing do for you. You know, you meet these guys, and you know, they'll tell him how many hours out of the way that'd be for Claude to drop by, and I understand his wife's coming with him, and you know, we'll take the time and make a great day and have a good time, and you know, and it's like that when we hit Owensboro. You know, I can't wait to see Chuck and you know, all the people that come down there, and I know there's going to be some that's not going to be there that has been in the past, and there'll be a bunch of new ones, and it's just so much fun, and I don't know any place else that the whole community gets behind a tournament, a catfish tournament, like they do in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Yeah, I agree. It's something to see, and it's something to be part of. It really is.
Well, I hope that the town and everybody involved with this is as proud of what goes on down there as the rest of us are, because we're all proud for what you guys do. And I know Aaron is the guy behind it, but it's like a fishing team, you know. You got one guy that might find the fish, and you got one person in the boat that may catch the fish, but it's a team effort, because most of the time, if you're getting good fish, that guy is going to get the net and help the other guy get it in the boat. It works out that way, and that's what that community has done. They made it a team effort, and it's just awesome. I just think the world of coming down there, and it's just going to be a blast. And we can't wait to get to the store so we check that internet out, so we get everybody on the show and see how that goes.
Well, we're ready for you. We're ready for you. Come on down.
Well, we'll get there we'll probably be there the Wednesday before and kind of get settled in. I want to see if I can find me a fish or two. And the first year we didn't do too bad. Second year we didn't fare so well. We're going to try to do a little better this year and see if we can find a few fish and stock up on some bait. And I'm sure I'll forget something, so I'll make a list before I come in.
Well, you forget anything, we'll do what we can to help you, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's why
no doubt in my mind.
We decided just to do one good, nice show this year and concentrate on finding fish the rest of the time, because Catfish Weekly took a little bit too much time out from us last year, and it kind of hurt us, I think. So we're going to get it out of the way, just do some good work, and get out there so we can compete right.
Sounds great.
It does. Jim, thank you so much for spending your time with Chuck and I tonight, and I know everybody that's watching the show and listening is very happy that you come on and talk to us about what you got going on for the Monsters Tournament, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you real soon.
Okay, you just, keep the word out there, to give us a call if you need anything, and we are taking reservations on this bait, live bait and skipjack both. Just let me know so I can do my best to get it there for them.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people before you click off?
No, let's roll, baby. That's all I can say. Bring it. Game on.
That sounds like a plan. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, buddy.
Hey, nice seeing you guys. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Jim. All right, Chuck. What else we got for tonight? Paul Ragsdale was going to come on the show with us at the end, and he'd been up for at least 24 hours. And I sent him a message, and he didn't answer me. But Paul is going to be doing some updating on Catfish Weekly website. He's going to add some things to it. So sometime right around midnight or very shortly after that, if you try to get on the Catfish Weekly website, it'll probably be down for a few hours. He's going to upgrade some stuff. We're going to do a bunch of upgrading to the super fan page. There's going to be some new things coming on that we're kind of excited about. He's going to be working on that. So if you happen to click on there and you can't get on the website, don't get excited. Paul does a lot of work for us that nobody knows about, and he helps me a great deal with all of the website and stuff I know nothing about. And so he's going to be taking care of that. He does most of it at night, so it doesn't affect anybody. But sometimes somebody will click on there, and I'll get up. You know, a lot of times I'm up late anyhow, but people send me messages, oh, I can't get on the website, or I can't do this, I can't. Well, that's because Paul's working on it. So don't worry. He's going to take care of everything. And you guys that are super fan members, hang on, because there's going to be some really cool stuff coming up. We're working on a Christmas giveaway right now. So be prepared. It's not going to be a drastic thing that you have to do to be entered in it, but you will have to do some things to get in it like you did last year. It'd be very simple, easy. We want everybody to be involved with it, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. Oh man. But stay tuned for that, and remember that on these giveaways and stuff, if you're a super fan member, you get 2 entries into any giveaways or anything like that. So it's coming. Be prepared. You're going to like it. We won't do anything you don't like, and if we do something that a lot of people don't like, we'll change it. You know, that's the whole thing. What do you got for them for closing statements tonight, Chuck?
Not much. We're going to have, the next 2 weeks is just going to be all preparation for me for, getting ready for Monsters. Alabama Catfish Trail has one more tournament left. It's going to be on the Alabama River. I think it's the week after the Monsters of the Ohio. I don't have the exact dates, but I'll release that later. It's going to be a pretty good drive for everybody, but the Alabama River is a really good, wild, untamed. I mean, it can be terrible. But it's a real river, and it's going to be some really good fish, and I'm excited. I'm going to try to get down there and fish on that tournament. I've always wanted to fish it, and that's what's so good about this Alabama Catfish Trail. It has forced me to fish at least 4 different bodies of water that I've always wanted to fish, and I've never just got up and said I'm going to go fish them. I've got to, in the Alabama River is going to bait number 5. And, hopefully he gets some more spread out and get some, some new places on there, because it's always exciting to hit somewhere new.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's great. Chad Wall sent us a message earlier, and I didn't forget you. Like, I'd have missed it last week. He sent us a message, and I didn't see it in time. He was already gone, but he wants to let everybody know that the Ironman tournament is this weekend in Carrollton, Kentucky. First segment will be from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then you have a little break. The second part of the tournament starts at 5 p.m. and ends at 12 a.m. $125 per boat, up to 4 people per boat, if I read that right. And you can register at the ramp from 4 to 6 the day of tournament. So if you want to fish the tournament this weekend, you're close down there to Carrollton, be sure to get in on that tournament. Go see Chad. He'll take good care of you. Aaron just sent us a message that she's in on the Christmas package, so I'll be expecting him to have his beard and red suit on, and we're looking forward to that. Not at Monsters, Aaron, but later on, a month or 2 down the road. I think with that, I think we're done for the evening. Thanks, everybody, for watching the show. We had a great bunch of people in chat tonight, and a lot of questions, and we had some really good guests. So thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next week.